Good evening, Hampton Roads. Good evening, Northeast North Carolina. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of WTKR News 3 Television, and you are watching First Warning Live, sponsored by Marco's Pizza. This is an epic episode. I believe this is number 8. I believe we did 4 last week, 4 this week. But what's different is that we're going to be giving away free pizza for a year for like 10 people. Isn't that cool? And I'm just getting word now we're going to do it again next week. So hang with me. We've got to get this live stream started. How about we start that right now? Now, when we talked about last week, and certainly yesterday, that the possibility of severe weather was going to be growing in our region. In fact, you can see from this image, we've got 3 panels, 3 specific times where we could get severe weather in our neck of the woods. That would be later tonight, into Friday when it turns yellow, that is level 2. That's scattered severe storms. But the green we associate with the legend that the Storm Prediction Center issues is level 1. That's isolated. That means it's spotty here and spotty there. Doesn't mean everybody gets it, but it includes parts of Hampton Roads for tonight, later tonight, and even into Saturday, which is bad news for outdoor plans because if you see dark clouds, you might very well need to pack it up and run for cover. But we have the potential for some damaging winds tonight, overnight, and flooding potential is maybe second. Top of mind would be the winds. But large hail, tornadoes pretty muted in the threat tonight. But I can tell you this, right now you're looking at a live look here at 7:41. The radar is showing some showers, which have been basically void of this area all day. It's now beginning to show signs of moving west of Franklin, south of Ahoskie, and Elizabeth City. Elizabeth City could be getting some rain, yes, but don't get too excited. Don't panic. I mean, the heavier rains are down here. Where's here? I'm looking at central North Carolina now, like eastern North Carolina. There was a severe thunderstorm warning for the Fayetteville area down in North Carolina during the 6 o'clock newscast, but that faded away and they issued a flash flood warning. Well, what does that look like? That looks like until 8:45. They've had up to 2.5 inches of rain. That's a lot of rain. 8:45, that's a long time. I know, but you and I don't live there, but maybe have family there. I'm thinking it's military too, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of point this out for good reasons. But if you're on the call, would love to say hi to you. I got a note from Diane Ladyhawk, that's her name. Good evening, Diane, great to see you here. Love the fact that you can participate as we put a big old smiley face here and then we recognize that this is your name and this is your picture that goes with your name here on Facebook. Love having you here, and if you got a comment, I would like the conversation to continue, not just with Diane, but everybody who wants to participate. That's the benefit of watching us in real time. It is 7:43 because we're giving away lots of pizza here in a few minutes. That might be of interest to you. We might go a minute late. But as far as the flash flood warning is concerned, you can see our highs were only 73 in Norfolk. It was 79 though in Chesapeake and 80 in Edenton down in Chowan County. So those were the high temperatures today. But we're going to be focused on this. Back-to-back severe weather threats Friday and Saturday. You know I couldn't do this without a sponsor. Did you know there are 5 convenient locations that Marco's Pizza is using to facilitate the contest? Meaning if you happen to win free pizza for a year, you can't go to all the Marcos around the country or Hampton Roads or Tidewater area, but you have to go to one of these 5. And hopefully they're convenient for you. Virginia Beach Boulevard, Princess Anne Road, Independence Boulevard, Kempsville Road, Chesapeake, and Hampton Boulevard in Norfolk. And all you have to do is go to WTKR.com/Marcos. And now, since I've gotten intel that they're going to do this, Marco's so generous, they're going to do another 10 winners next week. They mean if I don't win tonight, I could win next week? Bingo, bingo. Yeah, exactly. And who does that? Marco's Pizza does that. That's why I think it's pretty sweet. And if you aren't aware, maybe you've never tried Marco's, I'm a big fan of the lunch item called the Pozzoli, pepperoni and sausage there at the top. They're a lot bigger than they look, and they're very filling. But Pepperoni Magnifico, think of it as the one topping large pizza. That's what they're giving away. You could be on this live stream winning tonight. And I just were handed not that long ago the names. So I was able to type them up and they'll be presented here on the screen in just moments. So hang with me. Marco's awesome. Love having them on the sponsorship here. But anyway, I get back to the weather. So we're talking about severe weather threats. Yellow is scattered, green is isolated. And if you've got a comment, I'll do my best to put your name on the screen. I got, let's see here, got a note from Courtney Nobles. She wants to know, how is Chesapeake affected? Chesapeake now or in the future? Because Courtney, I can tell you what, just because you haven't had storms yet tonight doesn't mean you won't get some on Friday or on Saturday. You could get a twofer. You could get both days, but these are widely scattered, at least even on Friday. But boy, when they show up, they could have a little bit of a punch. So the threat on Friday, if you want to know about Chesapeake, how's it affected? We could have some moderate damaging winds, meaning that's probably top of mind for Friday. That's tomorrow. And it goes into tomorrow evening as well. So this is like watching waves come in on the ocean front. They're going to come in stages. Flooding potential is there. Large hail might be a little bit higher than the flooding potential, but the risk for tornadoes right now is about 2%. 2% or less based on the analysis of the PhDs in Norman, Oklahoma. The Storm Prediction Center, that's where they work. They govern the whole country, and they're looking at our region, and they think, yeah, 2% chance or less within 25 miles of a point. So to have a point, to make a point that there is that potential on Friday. So we want to get further down the road here. So far, we've had over 5 inches of rain this month. We picked up 0.75 yesterday. Nothing so far at Norfolk International, not yet, but we're running well above the normal, which is 3.78. That's what we typically get in the 31 days of May. And as you know and I know, it's only the 29th. And tomorrow is the 30th. So we've got to watch the rainfall as we'll continue watching the growing season. But so far, 5.05, we averaged 3.78. 5 inches of rain is more typical of August and maybe September. But this is May, and sometimes, obviously, we have no control all of it in the big scheme of things. But here's the headline. Here are the headlines. Strong to severe storms are possible late tonight, again on Friday, and again on Saturday. It's going to be a delightful Sunday. Oh, I remember you said that yesterday. Yeah, I'm still holding to that. Sunday is going to be delightful, and if you don't get out on Sunday, you'll be kicking yourself. I should have gone outside, or I should have maybe altered your plans. Because I'll tell you what, if you have to work on a Saturday, you might as well stay inside, because what's going to happen? You're going to suddenly get severe storms potentially popping up all throughout the afternoon on Saturday, and we'll look at that in the futurecast here in just a moment. And then the warming trend. Some of you are going to be thrilled. We're going to be running into the upper 80s. We could be near 90 by late next week. That's the weather in a nutshell. I mean, it's a pretty good nutshell, but I'm kind of curious to know what you are seeing. I got a note from, let's see here, Denmark wants to know. He's on here. He says, will the storms help keep the temperatures cooler than usual? We'll see that in the 7-day, Denmark. I do think we'll see the warming trend start sometime around, say, Tuesday, Wednesday. By Wednesday, we should be around 87 in Norfolk. So today's high was only 73. So an 87-degree high clearly would have some more promise. That's what we're going to see trending late next week. So here's the planner for tomorrow. I fully suspect, as we come back on camera for this reason, I fully suspect that the rain storms tonight will be over between 5 and 8 a.m. Repeat, 5 to 8 a.m. they end. So by midday tomorrow, there's nothing going on. It was like, he says it's going to be stormy. Wait until the afternoon and evening, right? Because the second wave comes in the afternoon and evening, and we're still looking at about a 60% chance of storms tomorrow. But most of the morning, after, say, 8 o'clock, isn't going to be a factor. So I wrote early rain and storms, sun's up at 5:48, but they'll be departing. It's all kind of one system, right? It's late tonight, early tomorrow, but by the time you get to work, perhaps at 8 or 9, it's gone. It's long gone. You might see some puddles, but the strongest severe storms will come back by 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock tomorrow night. Does that make sense? It's going to be kind of a changeable situation. And our friends at Harbor Park, tomorrow night is the United States Army night at Harbor Park. The Norfolk Tides taking on the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs, winds 5 to 15. That's 60% chance. That's pretty high. But as I've said before, that doesn't mean it's at Harbor Park. It could be coming down in buckets in Newport News. And nothing at Harbor Park, and they're probably going to play the game. I mean, they got to sell hot dogs and sell concessions. So I would think that they've had some delays. They've got a doubleheader scheduled for Saturday. So there's some inherent challenges with playing baseball in this type of rainy pattern. I think most of us would agree. It's not your first rodeo. You've been to Harbor Park. Sometimes it rains and sometimes it can be delayed. But that is something I'm watching for tomorrow night. Meanwhile, the radar satellite combination shows all this rain trying to move up from the south. Got a little bit of rain south of Elizabeth City. We got a front that's draped across Kill Devil Hills. And there's rain coming this way. It's just been slow to get in here today. We've already looked at the flash flood warning in the Fayetteville area, and there's thunderstorms around Greensboro working their way here. So think of the front as the railroad track for the rail cars. And these are the storm clouds. The storm clouds and the rain that's coming is drifting in this direction, and the dew points are higher south of the boundary. South of the boundary, it's a little stickier. So Fayetteville's got some rain, and Maysville's had some rain, and it's working toward the Outer Banks. So at the very minimum, it may not be severe for you tonight, but you're going to get some rain, I fully suspect. We'll see how that plays out. Let's see here. Will it hit? Ooh, I got a note. I think we've answered this question, but let me go back to our friend Courtney. We're having a conversation, you and me, Courtney. Thank you for your patience. Will it hit during rush hour? I think 5 to 7 is when it's probably worst, but probably gone by 8. And that will bear out when you see the future cast here in just a moment. But tonight's rains, we get tonight, should be trying to exit stage right into the Atlantic Ocean by that point in time. All right, so the bigger picture, if you follow the boundary, there's another stall boundary through West Virginia, through central Kentucky, and back toward West Tennessee near Memphis. And all the humidity is pouring in here. Rainfall forecast, by tomorrow morning at 7, you may have picked up a 1/4 inch in the areas around the peninsula. Maybe 1/3 of an inch in inland North Carolina. This is just a model projection, but it's good guidance. It's not gospel, it's guidance. And then you overlook toward the south side, maybe a 1/4 inch by 11 o'clock on Friday night. Maybe you don't get the severity, but there is going to be some scattered elements, I'm sure, play out. By the time we hit 11 o'clock Saturday, it's over. You mean there's no more rain? Probably not. I suspect by 11 o'clock tomorrow night, or Saturday night, excuse me, by Saturday night, 11 o'clock, it should be over. Should be gone. And then you can look forward to what? A delightful Sunday. Oh, you're still on that. I love Sunday. Man, I'm telling you what, if you don't get out Sunday, he said Sunday, beautiful. Didn't change my opinion. And if you don't take advantage of it, I think you will have some weather regret. Look at this severe rainfall potential. I mean, you look at 0.7 Norfolk, 0.8 in Cape Charles. This takes us through that magical time of 11 o'clock Saturday. Because I think by 11 o'clock Saturday, it's pretty much played its hand. Oh, look at this. It's time to look around the country. We have severe weather in different parts. I'm looking different parts across the country. Let me zoom in. I see in Texas, is that a tornado warning in red? It sure is. How many of you have family in Texas? Looks like La Mesa. Ooh, tornado warning till 7:15. All hands on deck if you have family in Texas. But they're used to it, right? Earthquakes in California, they're used to that. And I'm sure in Oklahoma they're used to tornadoes. But it is a tornado warning for Borden, Dawson, Howard, Martin County till 7:15, and that is in Central Time. Flash flood warnings, you get the rest. So that gives us an idea. Abilene's got a severe thunderstorm warning. You're looking at more storms across Oklahoma. But what is interesting to see is that while this big blob of green, we'll just keep it simple, the blob of green that's moving through North Carolina is only showing flash flood concerns. There's not severity at this point. I don't see a flash flood orange polygon. I don't see that. I do see some thunder. But as we zoom in a little bit tighter, that's what we're going to continue to watch. Ooh, I got another note. Got a note from TD Camp. He's one of our weather watchers. Love it. Hi, TD. He's on here. He wants to know, what's the water temperatures? I love the fact that you're on here. Usually in May, they're in the mid-60s. The average, I would assume now, based on other things I've looked at, it's probably close to 67 or 68 TD in the month of May. But by the time you get to July, it's like 78. So it warms up rapidly. And of course, Sunday is the start of hurricane season. But the average, 64. I hope that answers your question. But I love the fact TD's on here. And we're going to be doing something special for our weather watchers. I won't reveal that just yet. We'll reveal it after it happens. But we're doing something special for our weather watchers. So he's been with us for, I would assume, many, many years. I've only been here 3 months. But TD's been awesome, as has many of our weather spotters and weather watchers for WTKR. All right, so we're looking at the rain beginning to fill in south of Hertford and also toward Franklin. Virginia Beach oceanfront. Can we look at that? Oh, yes, we can. We can look at that. That's just perfect. I mean, could you have timed this out any better, Aldrich? No, I couldn't. I'm not that talented. 64. You just said that for TD Camp. I did. And then what you said that July average temperature around 78. That's true. So it does warm up rapidly as the air temperature begins to climb up as well. And we'll be keeping an eye on that because I know a lot of people who might be watching from out of town, they come here, we want you to spend some money and also spend some time here in Hampton Roads. I do know that my Knoxville audience, let's come back on camera. Let me see if I can do that. Let's see here. Let's put back over here. Yep. Just want to remind you that we're going to be giving away free pizza. Did I mention we're giving away 10 certificates for free pizza for a year? That's one large topping pizza for every month of the year. So that's kind of sweet. I mean, that's really sweet. And we're going to do it again next week. A programming note, I got to mention this. Programming note, I worked Memorial Day. I'm going to be off Monday. So I worked the holiday, but I will be off next Monday, but we're still giving away the pizzas. And we're still going to be giving away a special code, because if I didn't mention this, I was remiss. But let me just mention this now. We have a special deal, whether you win or not. If you use the promo code WTKR50, you get 50% online app orders. They take off half the price. So it doesn't matter if you order a pizza, a salad, one of the awesome subs, or maybe the hot wings or dessert. You could even get gluten-friendly cauliflower crust. You mean they got that too? They got that too. And you can have half off your order until the rest of what, this week? I guess Friday or Saturday? Till Saturday, let's say. But WTKR50 is the promo code. I mean, this is the benefit of watching and having a weather party, right? We're not under any crosshairs for nasty weather, at least at the moment. So if we were, we'd be all hands on deck. But right now, we just want to let you know that the possibility of some weird weather could be forming in the days to come. I got a note from TD Camp, a follow-up, because we're having a conversation, him and me. Thank you very much. You're more than welcome, TD. Glad to have you here. I got some happy, I guess, I don't know if these emojis come through. I guess they do. Just happy, 3 happy hearts there from Diane Lady Hawk. Love it. Who else am I missing on here? Now, what are the temperatures will be dropping along? I got a note from Vicky. Maybe we've answered Vicky's question, I don't know. Now, what are the temperatures? Will they be dropping along with the rain, or will there be humidity? Yeah, humidity is going to be high. Humidity will be icky and sticky because overnight lows will still be in the 60s. It's not really going to only climb next week. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday will be even more humid than it is right now. I hope that helps you, Vicky. Appreciate your input. It is, by the way, now 7:57. I have so much excitement about tonight, but I digress. I want to just remind those who might be watching from out of town, when does it get warm around here? Typically, July is the hottest month in terms of 90-degree days. Now, if you're not real keen on the decimals, this is a 30-year average. So if we take 14 and a half, we just round it up to 15. One thing you could probably say, well, if it's 15, that's almost half the month. That's true, right? That's about half the month. And so this is what you have to take into account. So when you look at this, this chart, we get about 8 days in June. June's just around the corner. It starts on Sunday. Meteorological summer starts on Sunday with the hurricane season start. But 15 days, we average about 36. We get about a month's worth of actual 90-degree days. And a summer might be, some people would measure it, say, hey, was it above average summer, below average, but 36, a little more than a month. And so far, we've had just 3. We had one on April 6th, one on May 1st, and one on May 16th. We haven't had a 90-degree day since then, so if you're playing the home game version, we're pretty much close to normal in terms of the 90-degree days. But it hasn't been normal. It's like an upside-down month, right? There's that 90. If you're keeping a score, playing the home game version, we've had 14 above normal. And now today, with 73 the high, now we've had 13 below. I mean, that's a pretty even distribution, but what's freaking people out is the fact that it was warm to start and it's cold to finish. I mean, that'd be like saying, I'm really worried that about the tide at the beach because it was low tide this morning and now it's high tide. I don't know that's how Mother Nature works, right? Sometimes these things come and go. The moon goes through cycles. This is a cycle. It may not be the cycle that we're accustomed to, but what choice do we have? It's what we're dealing with. And at this moment, that's what we're seeing. It's probably a warming trend later next week. The pendulum will swing back. All right, temperatures right now, it is now 5:59. I got to finish here in the next, 5 minutes. I can think of it because we got to announce the pizza winners. That's why you're watching. Suffolk, 74. 72 in Elizabeth City. These are the current temperatures. And now that we're just moments, seconds away from 8 o'clock, I can assure you these are the 8 o'clock temperatures. Don't they take the temperature like the top of every hour? Yeah, they usually, it's about 51 or 52 after the hour. So we'll just label this as the 8 o'clock numbers. Cape Charles, you're at 68. Good evening to you. Chesapeake, 74. Hello to you. And Currituck coming in at 72. I had a great chance to go on the Currituck Sound Ferry this past weekend. My wife and I, we had a ball. Anyway, 77 the current temperature in Raleigh is 73 in Hatteras, and we got 70 degrees in Atlanta. So it's kind of cool. It's not super hot. And a lot of folks have noticed the humidity. When it's in the 60s, this is the dew point temperature. So to be clear, the dew point temperature is the gold standard. When it's in the 60s, it's a bad hair day. When it's in the 70s, it's a swamp. And when it's in the 70s, it concerns a lot of people in the weather community because all you need is a trigger, a cold front, and dew points in the 70s, and you just absolutely almost have assured severe weather. So this is where the severe weather may have occurred in some parts of the country. Down across Fayetteville, they've got dew points in the upper 60s, but Virginia Beach, it's closer right now it's right now into the mid 60s. So 71 in dew point there in Myrtle Beach, very, very humid. I mean, think about it like, we think of like 100 degrees as hot. I think of 70 degrees as a very sticky air mass, and that's what we have down in Myrtle Beach at the moment. But the current temperatures are in fact cool in Pittsburgh, and Detroit 66, and Wichita, Kansas 68, Denver, Colorado at 64, but Boise 92. What in the world? Sometimes how it goes, it follow the wind direction, my friend. I can almost assure you that they're warming up in Boise because they probably have a south or southwest wind at the moment. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Temperature trend, we're going back to local now. Normal high is 81 this time of year, and 82 is what I anticipate tomorrow. But Saturday, unsettled to say the least. We're going to look at the futurecast coming up. 77 Sunday, 79 Monday, and 84 on Tuesday. So got a lot to cover, but this is just the radar in a snapshot view. Thought you would be helpful to see that. I got a follow-up thank you from our friend Vicky. She says, thank you, my pleasure. And I will say this too, because when we talk about percentages, it's really just going to be depending on let's just say, if you say there's a 60% chance of storms, that's kind of like more than half are going to likely see this occur. I got another note from Ambler. He was the one that sent us that great hail picture earlier last Thursday. What's the wind forecast golfing on Sunday? About 5 to 15. I hope that helps you, Hatch. I know he works here at WTKR, so I appreciate Hatch's input. But yeah, if he's golfing, I would expect 5 to 15, and generally they're going to be pretty light. So that's my expectation in terms of your golf on Sunday, and it should be generally out of the southwest. Now here's what we're talking about: satellite radar. Maybe some downpours still affecting Greenville. That's kind of really outside of our traditional TV viewing area, but some of you might be watching. The rain chances are 60% the next 2 days now. So my anticipation is you get through the next 2 days, there's a payoff. There's a payoff because you're going to be 0 on the chance of rain on Sunday and maybe a stray shower for the Outer Banks on Monday. Other than that, looks pretty good. If you haven't downloaded our free, there's another free item, the News 3 First Warning Weather app. I hope you'll do so. You get lightning alerts, you get the alerts when things affect you, and pairing it with having a NOAA weather radio on hand is great because sometimes cell phone towers can be damaged by wind, and having the battery-powered weather radio can also keep the notifications flowing. Hey, if you're on the Eastern Shore tomorrow, about 77 for Bloxham, Nancock 76. Exmoor 76, Cape Charles 76, it's 8:03. My goal is to be done here in a couple of minutes. 77 in Kill Devil Hills, 78 in Manio. Our friends in Nags Head, beautiful Nags Head, about 77, but there's still a chance for some rain. Rodanthe 78, 78 in Ocracoke, and you can see our sun will be coming up tomorrow at 5:48, and with these long summer days, well, we're not quite to summer yet, but getting close. 8:18 is when it goes down tomorrow. It goes down to 8:17 a few minutes from now. Tonight. Storm Prediction Center, we've already covered in great detail. The coloring, the risk categories, the dark green, isolated. And when you see yellow, it's scattered. And on Friday, tomorrow, many of us are going to be under the scattered risk for severe storms. That's short-lived or not necessarily widespread, but isolated, intense storms possible tomorrow. Now, what if it's orange? Well, then it's numerous and they're more persistent. And there is some orange tonight in the heart of Texas. We already saw Abilene. We saw some areas not far from San Angelo. So the concern for tonight through 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, mind you, because when these outlooks come out from the Storm Prediction Center, they cover the day ahead, and they carry it right into 12Z the next morning, which is really 8 o'clock a.m. So this is really through tomorrow morning. Nashville, Memphis, Huntsville, potential for isolated severe storms, and then you come back to the East Coast. There's still some isolated severe storms in parts of Florida and up and down the Carolinas, where Wilmington, Myrtle Beach, Florence may have some issues tonight. They're also getting some heavy rain. And if you're wondering where this really divides, it really includes Greenbrier, but not Green Run. It includes Stumpy Lake, but not Croatan. It doesn't include that. It includes Princess Anne, but not Ocean Lakes. I mean, arbitrarily, this is where they happen to draw the line, and so include some of those areas. But tomorrow, we've already covered. This is the hot spot, right? Everybody in South Georgia, basically most of South Carolina and North Carolina are under level 2, which means we're going to have the chance for some isolated or scattered severe storms, scattered in yellow across Hampton Roads and northeast North Carolina. All right, as we round out this forecast here, it's 8:05. Let's just repeat that we have it on Saturday too. Notice how it's just in the mid-Atlantic. It's South Jersey. It's all of my home state of Delaware and D.C. and Virginia Beach and Raleigh, where we could get some isolated severe storms. And this includes Edenton, Duck, Rodanthe, Hatteras, as well as Williamsburg and Exmoor. So here we go. Tonight, do we have a chance for severe weather? The modeling would suggest that we're going to see something new form in red west of Franklin before 10 o'clock. If that's the case, question is, do the colors get brighter or do they start to get muted? And I would suggest probably after the sun goes down, they get a little bit muted. Still maybe a strong storm near Franklin by 11, but by about 2 a.m., it looks like it's pretty benign. It's just general rain. Maybe a thunderstorm in Orange in Elizabeth City at 2 in the morning. But you said it'd be gone between 5 and 8 in the morning. Hold on. There's 4 a.m. It's still raining in Duck. Still raining around Virginia Beach and Norfolk. That's 4 a.m. It's going to probably take between 5 and 8 a.m. before it finally gets out of here. That's my expectation. There's 7 a.m. It's gone, right? So many of you might say, I see puddles, but I don't see rain. And thankfully, at midday, there's not much to see either. Maybe the sun pops out. That only adds more instability to the atmosphere, and you're more likely to get storms flaring up like this one. You say, this one? Yeah, this one. I'm talking about this one right here. This little cell here, by about 4 o'clock Friday, that could become severe. I mean, anything's possible. Doesn't mean it affects Chesapeake, but it could affect Virginia Beach. Depends on the timing. They're widely scattered. And by 6 o'clock, our Norfolk Tides will be taken to the field, 6:35, for the U.S. Army night at Harbor Park. Could they get the game in? Sure, they could get the game in. But it's raining northwest of Williamsburg. Oh, and by 8 o'clock, it could be raining in parts of Suffolk or Chesapeake. So, like I said, these are widely scattered. I don't encourage you to cancel plans. Just have some flexibility that you could, if you see dark clouds, go inside and get some cover. But that one looks nasty at 9 o'clock on Friday. So the modeling brings it to the eastern shore, brings it up to the peninsulas, and then Virginia Beach and Norfolk by 9 o'clock, another severe storm. That's why I say it's coming in like stages, like in waves. And then we get a break by 11 o'clock Friday, it would seem, but then it comes back on Saturday. Not in the morning. Not in the morning, it doesn't. It looks pretty clear to me, Aldrich, but give it some time. By midday, you've got plans. Maybe you're at Jackalope. Maybe you're at the Blackbeard Festival in town, and you're going, oh, it's starting to rain again. 3 o'clock. Man, it was so nice this morning, but now it's raining. That's sometimes the way it goes, right? That's how weather works. It's great in the morning, but what did I say about Sunday? It's fantastic, delightful. You're going to love Sunday because by 5 o'clock Saturday evening, most of it's winding down, and by 11 o'clock, the last of the drips and the drabs are exiting stage right. All right, it is now 8:08. I knew I'd go long because I love you guys. I just wanted to fill you in all the details. I don't like to hold back. Give you all the information in my head and what I have graphically. So here you go. Overnight lows tonight in the mid-60s, a little sticky, and we got storms in the forecast. If you're in Wakefield, 64. If you're in Elizabeth City, Duck, 67. These would be representative of your low temperatures in the morning, 65 in Cape Charles, about 66 around Norfolk, and 65 in beautiful Smithfield, Chesapeake, about 66. And tomorrow afternoon, that should say Friday. I don't know why I did that. That's my bad. That should be Friday. I think we could just come back on camera. I'll do this over here. I think it's just kind of like, I'll just cover that up. Just says Friday. You like how I did that? That's called skill. How do you do that? It's practice. It's just really practice. That's all it is. But let me get back to the maps. We're talking about upper 70s for the peninsula. Here is your first warning. WTKR News 3 7-day forecast. 76 Saturday, 77 Sunday. That's glorious. And it looks like the glorious weather is going to continue as we warm up with mostly sunny skies on Tuesday at 84, Tuesday 84, Wednesday 87, Thursday 89. And it's going to be sweet, but even a 30% chance of storms on Thursday. I would say be on your guard for more severe weather with overnight lows near 69, near pushing dew points in the upper 60s. Any storms that we're forming on Thursday, they too may have the potential to pop up. Hey, I got another note. Let's see, from Stuart. believe that's Stuart. Yeah, Stuart says, hello, everyone be safe. Glad to have you here. We're about to announce the winners here, so bear with me. I got some other notes. Who else did I not cover in these? The conversation has continued. I got an oh wow from Stuart. Oh wow. The wow part is when I give you these winners here. But just to remind you, programming note, I will be off on Monday, but I'll be back on Tuesday. First Warning Live will continue. In the meantime, go to WTKR.com/Marcos to enter. They're going to be giving away 10 more names next week, and I get to read them on the live stream. Very cool. And what's special about these 5 is that they're participating in the contest locations. You can, in fact, win a certificate tonight, and when it comes to you in the mail, you can run out and use it for the month of June, which is, of course, on Sunday. But what's also cool is that even if you don't win, we've just cut your pizza cost in half if you use the promo code WTKR50. And I have high assurance that there's going to be a new promo code next week. Whole new items. Everything's going to be brand new. So check back with us because it's exciting. I think it's exciting if you can win a free pizza certificate. All right, let's get to the winners. Are you ready? Drum roll, please. It's 8:11. Boy, you went on long. It's what I am. I just like to talk. Anyway, free Marcos Pizza for a year. This week's winners, congratulations to you. I feel like Bob Barker, I guess. Come on down. The winner, we're doing 10 tonight. So the first 2 are ready. Drum roll, please, is Tanya Metz from Virginia Beach. Hey, Tanya, if you're listening live, congratulations to you. You just won a free 1-topping pizza monthly for the next 12 months. And Angie Snyder from Virginia Beach. Angie, you just got some pizza. Tanya got some pizza. I think it's cool. We don't have to stop there. Let's go ahead. Matthew Harris from Chesapeake. Congratulations to you, my friend. And Brittany Clark from Virginia Beach. You too have just won one of these awesome certificates. They will be mailed to you. Isn't that cool? They will be mailed to you in the U.S. Postal Service. And if you have any questions or concerns, reach out to us at WTKR.com. I don't think you'll have any problems. It's on its way. And I have high assurance that Tanya Metz, Angie Snyder, Matthew Harris, and Brittany Clare are winners tonight. Very cool. And if you're on the call, I'll put your comment to let us know what you think. What's your reaction? I got more. Mark Allen. Hello, Mark Allen. You just won free Marcos Pizza for a year from Virginia Beach. John Roth, congratulations to you. In Chesapeake, you are number 6. Now, these are arbitrarily numbered here. It's just what I've had time to type up. But I love the fact that you have just won, John Roth, free pizza for a year. You get to stamp or check off the June starting on Sunday, and we'll do 10 more winners next week. So we've had Tanya and Angie. We've got Matthew Harris and Brittany. And we have Mark Allen and John Roth. Can we keep going? Absolutely. How about number 7 and 8? Sonia M. Lawler in Norfolk and Bob Rowland, Newport News. Congratulations. If you're on the call, want to say hi to you. And now see, isn't this nice? TD's name isn't on here, at least not that I know of yet. But congrats. He's congratulating you for winning free pizza for a year. I don't know anybody who does that. I think it's pretty sweet. And I will say this, William Beranger, Virginia Beach, and Chandra Gilchrist, Newport News. So there's the 10. Congratulations to you. You'll get a certificate in the mail because when you go to WTKR.com/Marcos, you can enter the win. They ask for basically an email, address, so forth, so they can send you the certificate. Very exciting. It's very exciting because you think about it. When you have a pizza night, maybe it's on a Friday or Saturday night. If you could cut that cost out once a month, that's significant. And a lot of times, at least in the Aldrich household, we usually do it on a Friday or Saturday, but you might have a different pizza night. That's totally up to you. I just wanted you to have the ability to either A, get the certificate, or B, use the WTKR 50 code and get your online orders deal of the week. Only lasts like a couple more days. So that's it in a nutshell. Again, congratulations to all our winners. Very exciting about what you've accomplished. Got some other notes here. Let me come back to... let's go back here. Yep. Want to just reiterate, I got some notes on my Facebook page. I got Matt Campbell says, hi, David. Hopefully rain will hold off Saturday for a car show he's planning to attend. I got another note from Larry Jones saying hi. These are on my Facebook page comments. Patty Lynn Miller in Virginia Beach. She says, never waited this late to open the pool. Hey, that's a good point. For some of you who have cucumbers or tomatoes planned, like you've planted the seeds, this will help. You haven't had to water the flower pots because Mother Nature's been helping out, but she's noting this is pretty late to get into the pool. I see that a lot of truth to that as well. And I haven't really covered really quickly here. There's the forecast, but I wanted to end on some happy shots. We're going to also round up what we were talking about. Some beautiful pictures from our WTKR weather spotters or photographers with the eagle theme. How's this? Beautiful. And then Felix catching I guess an eagle in flight. Love this picture, and love also this one. Looks like it almost looks like a painting. This is Virginia Beach from Pam. Thank you, Pam, for sharing these pictures with us. We want you to come see us here in Hampton Roads. We recognize a lot of our viewers may be military and you have family all over. There's no harm in coming here, spending your money instead of going to a different beach location. Come to the Outer Banks, come to Virginia Beach, come to the Chesapeake Bay. On the Eastern Shore and anywhere in our region, we would love to see you. So there's the 7-day forecast. Just a reminder, as I look back here, I'm going to make sure I have all my ducks in order here. But just a reminder, the winners of the free pizza from Marcos. The certificates will be mailed on the screen. If you have any questions, let us know by WTKR.com, because the contest will continue next week as well. All right, so as I've said before, I'll say it again. Remember, let's keep the conversation going. I will say this, that it doesn't matter if the weather is sunny. It doesn't matter if it's serious. Every day's a gift, so make the most of it in your neighborhood. And we'll see you next week. Take care.